Today, commentary composed by great Tibetan master. So this, so we are here, chapter about patience. Chapter. So we have verse 30, I think. So I will read this. Even if when acted upon by others' conditions, it remains as before, then what could action to do it? Thus, if I say that these conditions act upon a permanent self, how could the two ever be causally related? This is the talking about the one Indian, ancient, very Indian, old Hindi Sankhya school. So this is the viewpoint of talking about the permanent self. Hence, everything is governed by others' factors, which in turn are governed by others. And in this way, nothing governs itself. Having understood this, I should not become angry with the phenomena which are like apparition. So this is we are talking about the dependent arising. It is Sanskrit called Patiya Samantapati. So Patiya means dependent, Samantapati means arising. So everything is dependent arising. Everything depends on the causes and the conditions. So when we talk about dependent arising, there is no independent existence. All depends on the causes and condition, cause and effect. We can say the whole and parts, so connected. We can say designated by mind, merely living by the mind. So different categories of dependent arising of causes and conditions, dependent arising of the parts, dependent arising of designated by the mind. So everything what we are experiencing is not independent. It depends on the causes and conditions. So when we talk about cause and condition, there are two causes and conditions. Primary cause and cooperative cause and condition. The primary cause is just like seed. External seed, if, for example, like seed of apple, is the primary cause. And the cooperative causes are, like moisture, water, all together. With the combination of this main cause and cooperative cause, we will be able to receive apple. Similarly, when it comes to the internal emotions, exactly same. There are primary cause and cooperative cause. So the primary cause, what we are here talking about, is the internal seed of anger, which is the primary cause. Cooperative cause are the people who make you angry. This is a condition. So with the combination of these two, anger arises. But anger, so here it does not exist independently. It depends on cause and condition. No cause, no effect. So this is what Shantideva told me. If everything is unreal, like apparition, then who is there to restrain what anger? Surely in this case, restraint will be inappropriate. It will not inappropriate because conventionally I must maintain that independent about restraining anger, restraining suffering is third, right? Third. When one sees an enemy or even friend committing an improper action, or thinking that such things arise from the condition, I should remain a happy friend. If things were brought into by being by choice, then since no one wished to suffer, suffering will not occur to any embodied creature. So this is Shantideva is talking about this. When it is the anger is not nature of the mind, So they are just like anger and other emotions. They are not nature in the mind. So our mind nature is clear. So we all wish to be happy and not want pain and suffering, but we receive more pain and suffering. And we are not receiving more happiness because we are not looking the what is the real cause of the anger, and we are not looking the what is the real cause of our pain and suffering. If we really recognize our real pain and suffering, then when anger arises, it is just like it is temporary, not nature of the mind. If it is nature of the mind, then it is impossible us to remove anger. It's not something like fire. Fire nature's heat, water nature's moisture. So it's not nature. It is temporarily covered, and therefore through training, through practice, we will be able to control this emotion. Through not being careful, people even harm themselves with porn and other things. For the sake of obtaining meaning in life, they become upset and deprive themselves of the food. And there are some who injure themselves through the unmeritorious deeds of hanging themselves, leaping from the cliffs, eating poison and unhealthy food. If, when under the influence of the disturbing conception, people will even kill their treasured selves, how can they be expected not to cause harm to the bodies of other human beings? Even if I cannot develop compassion for all such people who, through the arisal of disturbing conceptions, set out to try and kill me and so forth, the last thing I should do is to become angry with them. Even if it were the nature of a child is to cause harm to other beings, it would still be incorrect to be angry with them, for this would be like begrudging fire for having the nature to burn. And even if the fold were temporary, if they who are by nature reliable, it would still be incorrect to be angry. So this will be like begrudging space, so allowing smoke to arise in me. If I become angry with the widows, although I am actually harmed by the state, then this is the very important teaching first composed by this Indian master Shantideva. and then the commentaries composed by the Tibetan master. So with these two root texts and the commentary, if we meditate, contemplate that way, then we will be able to to control our anger, or minimize, or we can make anger weaker and weaker. So there are many things we can do. So so this is very good. Now, contemplation. So we can make this contemplation with three categories: reading number 1, reading number 2, and reading number 3. So the reading number 1, the contemplation. So what we are meditating, what we are contemplating is the contemplating number 1 is the first is the anger destroy the good karma. Anger destroy the good karma. Number 2 is contemplating the anger, ruin our happiness and our relationship. Number 3, contemplation is anger begins with being upset, and it is useless ever to be upset. Number 4, contemplation is perfect. Patience is like any other habituation, and can be developed with the practice, with the developing of mind. Number 5, contemplation is patience is decision state of mind. So it's kind of like strengthening your mind. So you're looking to one of the mind, looking your ambition on one side, not losing your strength. And number 6 is contemplating, learn to disregard wound in pattern. So these are the number 1 reading. So now let me, anger destroy our good karma. Everyone talking about the good fortune. Everyone talking about happiness. Everyone talking about good things. Nobody wants bad things. We call fortunate and unfortunate. So if you contemplate, nobody wants unfortunate, right? Nobody wants pain, suffering. Right? So when anger arises, it will destroy your good karma. Good karma will destroy your good fortune, which you do not want, right? And so good karma means you are good man in the present, future, will destroy and destroy your reputation, destroy your everything. So if we contemplate that number 1, then we will not let the anger control our mind, because we want good karma, we want good fortune. We don't want bad karma. So number 2, anger ruin our happiness and our relationship. So happiness, we are talking about 2 categories of happiness: physical happiness and the mental peace and joy happiness. The physical happiness comes from the, generally speaking, coming from your sensory object of the mind. So eye, ear, nose, tongue. The physical happiness is like physical comfort. We want physical comfort. It comes from our gross sensory mind. And we are talking about mental peace. So when somebody is controlled by this emotions of anger, you can see you're happy yourself, as well as you will destroy the happiness of others, friends, relatives, relationship, family, because anger is destructive emotions. Shantideva said in the text, right? There is no hero like patience. There is no, enemy like hatred and anger. It will destroy your peace and joy. You don't want to suffer, But as soon as anger arises, you have no choice. So that ruin our happiness and relationship. Anger begins with the being upset, and it is useless ever to be upset, right? So when anger arises, right, of course, it is very important. If there is a way to solve this problem, then you can use all your practice and skill, to overcome. If the situation is very difficult beyond your mind, and if you're thinking this is useless, because there's no way you can solve this problem. Therefore, this is also contemplation, right? It's like the perfect patient is like any other habit can be developed with the practice. So the when patient is kind of like is developing your mind, developing your mind is kind of like training your mind, right? Training your mind is changing your attitude. Changing your attitude means we have negative attitude and a positive attitude. If you have kind of like skill mind, if you're kind of like skill wisdom, which direction you want to go, you will use it's not like something, not something like blind, it's through your analyzing or through your analytical meditation, you will be able to choose right and wrong, between right and wrong, good and bad. You have choice, So this will be developing, depends on your habituation, habit. Anything habit and put the effort, we will change. But we need strength. We need also do not losing your do not lose the patience, right? Patience is just like great hero. And patience is decision, state of mind. So it is part of mind, It's mind. If you are not patient, then your mind is unstable, So patience can make your mind more, kind of like more stable and more calm. It will make your mind good shape, making your mind positive, making your mind good shape, and you will put more effort to bring more positive energy. It will build you good energy, and negative energy will be subside. So it's making you and learn to disregard wound in a battle. So we can see, people who go to fighting in the battle. So they have strong determination to defeat the enemies. But in order to defeat the enemies, first they have to make sure they have enough everything, right? Weapons or whatever, people, and then you will start fighting with your enemy. Your goal is to defeat your enemy. But in order to defeat the enemy, you need all these things to organize before, and then you will go to the battle and fight the enemy and defeat the enemy. But when you are fighting enemy, you may have difficult, right? Difficult, injure your body. You can see the blood's coming, but you will not give up. This kind of determination, because people go to the battle. Enemy, in order to defeat the enemy, also we need all kinds of things to organize. We need all the instrument. What I need, what should I need to defend my internal, like mindfulness, introspection, my skillful mind. I'm not losing my patience, and all the determination, effort, concentration, joyful effort, everything organized to fight and defeat the enemy. So this is the we are talking about the contemplation number one. This is number one. Now the contemplation number two is we should then be angry at the unwitting physical. Okay. Number two contemplation is who really made the things that make me angry. And number three is people do such good to themselves that it is not surprise if they hurt us. And number 10 is if people are harmful by nature, it is not surprise if they hurt us. If they are only harmful at the moment, we should bear with them. And number 11 is should we be angry at sticks? People who hit with sticks. Number 12 is it is that actually credits the object that bring us anger. So this is number 12. So we should then be angry with the unwilling physical. Physical. Anger is emotion, right? It's not physical, right? People who make you angry, or whatever, people who harm you. I'm angry to this person because he hit me or make me pain. This is why I'm angry. Then we should angry to the physical object, right? Physical object make you angry. So what I mean. We should be angry at the unwitting, but mainly we are angry to the enemies, right? Enemies, people who cause you, harm you, and we often think about these people and try to retaliate and try to revenge. It's the best way we can solve the problem. This is in our mind. If somebody hit you, I have to hit back. If somebody beat you twice, I have to beat four times. This is retaliate, revenge. So this way of thinking, is not logical. It will not solve the problem. If that solves the problem, of course you can hit twice, you can hit like 4 times. If that solves the problem, it is worthwhile. You can do it, no problem. But not solving, getting worse and worse. So this is contemplation we are talking about. Who really made the things that make angry? If we really think about who is the really make me angry, because as I mentioned before, no seed, no anger arises. You know what I mean? If there's no seed, right? External, no seed. Even you try to put all this cooperative cause and condition, there's no way anything will grow. No seed. So anger arises because of seed. Seed there, then condition arise, then anger. If we really think, no seed, no anger will arise. So you can see very clear. If you angry 10 times per day, you will plant 10 seeds. So that seed is main cause. So 10 times, you plant the seed, will ripen, causes and conditions arise. But we can see very clear, not everybody make you angry, right? For certain people make you angry. Why is this? Not everybody, somebody, we are not angry to everybody, right? We are angry for the certain people make you angry. This is what we have to think about. Why these certain people make me angry, not other people. Everyone not making me angry, but certain people make me angry. So we have to think this too, right? So this people do such hurt themselves that it is not surprising if they hurt us. So this is very clear, right? People are angry and people hurt themselves. You can see when you are angry, if you are a mechanic, you can boom like this, like this. You can hit yourself, If there's no coaching, you will not harm others. If you are hurting yourself, of course you will hurt others. You're hurting yourself. You don't want pain, but by anger you hurt yourself. There's no question you will not hurt others, other people. So then we have to think about this, contemplate. If people are harmful by nature, it's not surprise. As I mentioned, their nature is not harmful nature. Everybody's nature is pure, calm. Everybody have this pure, clear luminosity of the mind, which is never ever polluted, right? We are talking about nature of the mind, or the luminosity of the mind. It is clear. When anger arises, we are not seeing that mind. Misperceptions. It's just like temporary. You cover this beautiful sky, blue sky, blue sky, and you can see all the stars, everything, like stars, moon, sun. You will not see in the clouds. Moon, sun, is there all the time. It's shining all the time. Sun is shining all the time. Moon is bright. All the stars. But when it is covered by this temporary cloud, we can't see. That doesn't mean they are not existing there, but they are there forever, right? So similarly, it is not nature. When somebody get angry, have no choice. It's kind of somebody like controlled by the spirit. People often talk about control by the spirit, hurt themselves. No question about hurting ourselves, other people. So it's when the emotion control the mind, you have no choice. You can make mistakes. Anger arises, you can say many bad things to the public, You can do many strange things. You can change your attitude. When anger subsides, you are normal. You're kind of like, I shouldn't say this word. You say it because it's kind of like spirit dominant your person. You have no choice. So that's why it is not nature. That's why. Therefore, we should bear and practice. Should we be angry at the sticks? So somebody hit you with sticks. We are not angry at the sticks, right? But a stick mainly cause you pain. So we are not angry to the stick, but angry to the person. I'm angry to the person because person caused me pain. Then also you should angry to the stick. The stick cause you pain. Why we are not angry toward the stick or the person? So it is that actually creates the object that bring us anger. So it is actually, what is actually who creates the anger and emotions. Now reading 3 is number 13. What harm can words really do us? Serve living beings as you do the enlightened ones. And 19 is to serve living beings is to please the enlightened ones. So now what harm can word really do us? Because when somebody speaks very harsh, like very poisonous words, it hurt you, right? Actually, if somebody say very negative words, it's just verbal, right? But it actually hurt your mind. Actually hurt your mind, and you get angry, right? So this is true. Somebody said very bad thing hurt us. It is just verbal. Such a poisonous voice totally change your heart. And you dislike that person, right? Hurting this. So we have to think, contemplate, and what to do if you're talking about hurting the teachers and hurting the teachings about Buddhist teaching. We are talking about 2000 teaching, scripture and realization teaching. So scripture is the teaching of Shantideva takes. These are the scriptural teaching. So realization is study, think, and meditate, contemplation, and you have experience. This individual. So you will experience the teaching, and you will share this teaching to others. So then you are spreading the Dharma. Dharma is spreading Dharma, spreading the Dharma is individual. So you learn the scriptural teaching, and then you study, contemplate, and start meditation. You will experience the teaching, and you will share this to others. Oh, this making sense, make me more happy. I will share to my friends, and go like that is spreading the Dharma. So hold. So when we talk about, when we get angry, then we are not spreading the Dharma. Right? We are destroying the Dharma. Dharma said, practice patience. Right? So these are things. Not being. So we are talking about this is the. We are talking about this is the Mahayana teaching, right? The Mahayana teaching, we are talking about helping other beings. We are talking about to generate this Bodhisattva mind. We are talking about helping others, putting others, helping others, developing compassion for all living beings. So then we are looking for, from the Mahayana perspective, we are looking for, we are not looking for ultimate happiness. We are not looking for the temporary happiness. Right? Ultimate happiness is we are looking, long-term peace, joy, stable happiness. So long-term peace, joy, stable happiness is to study, to contemplate, to experience. You have good life, peaceful, no problem. There are problems in the world, but you will remain stable. You will do your practice and try your best to do good things. You will not be discouraged, because you are just like Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas, they are like the courageous beings. They will never discourage. We can see like His Holiness Dalai Lama. We can see all the great people in the world, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, all these great, many good examples. We will see the people who have such a determination to do good things for others, no self-judgment. So this kind of so when one taking joy in the misfortune of those who dislike, So when we talk about somebody make you angry, I don't like this person because making me problem. I do like this person because helping me. I don't care about this person. It's my neutral. Ignore them. But But that's no point. Like everything, what we call everything is momentarily changing. Our relationship is changing. So there's no permanent friend, no permanent enemy, no permanent stranger. Enemy, we see very clear. Enemy become your best friend. Your best friend became your worst enemy. We see, we experience everything. I experience too. Enemy, my best friend. Friend, my worst enemy. There's no guarantee, kind of like that. So this is we are talking about when we talk about something misfortune happening. It is very important to don't lose your mind. Don't lose your practice. It's very important. If you lose your practice, then you lose everything. If you lose your good fortune, good fortune. So and then then the people when we talk about mind viewpoint, right? We are talking about how to strengthen our mind, how to develop the mind. But in order to develop the perfect patience, we need object. No object, you will not develop the patience. So the object, subject, all make three circles, right? All are independent existence. Object, enemy is not independent. Subject, your mind, is not independent existence. Action is not independent existence. But object, subject, action of the anger, whatever, all are interconnected. There's no independent object, independent action, independent subject, right? So we think about somebody make you angry, can strengthen your patience, develop your patience. So then patience, if you develop patience, is your ultimate future will bring by practicing patience. If you have no patience, you will not achieve anything, right? From the worldly perspective, even the religious perspective, you need to practice patience, effort in order to achieve your goal. So this is talking about when we talk about holy beings, we respect holy beings. But when we talk about other, like suffering beings, and people who are suffering, we are not respect. Instead, we are angry and retaliate. It's not making sense. Buddha teaching is you respect Buddha, but you should also respect the suffering sentient being. Same equal. And to serve living beings, we are talking about serving, helping living beings, mind and Buddhist. And we are talking about making commitment to develop Bodhisattva mind and to strengthen our good qualities. So these three readings are very based on Shantidevas, like, and the commentary by this Tibetan master. So now, if we want to make a short summary, meditation on this patient, right? So what we have to think is, if you want to meditate briefly on the patient, so number one, we have to think like that. At the moment, although we have a sincere and very good motivation to benefit others, everyone wants sincere motivation and really want to help others. But our mental level is not stable, fluctuating, not strong enough. At the moment, we have sincere motivation to benefit others, to help others, but our mental level won't nicely help benefit. Somebody say negative, you totally change your attitude. This is why we are not stable. Endless, we are suffering. You suffering, other people suffering. And then, whenever other harm us, somebody harm us, I shall be able to remind myself, just like as I mentioned before, myself of the fact that they have truly been my mother and had been kind to me. In the Buddhist perspective, we are talking of all mother sentient beings. So, used to be your mom, very kind, and just like your mom, previous, who give you everything, very kind. So when they do something, I should remind them, oh, they are my mother. I have to remind kindness of my mother. However, when they are harming me, they are not voluntarily harming you. When they are harming me, they are totally under the control of these inner afflictive emotions. Just like spirit control your mind. They have no choice, They are not voluntarily doing this. Just normal people normal, You see, when you are not angry, you are normal, When you have no emotion, you are happy, nothing, When you get angry, you are not normal, So they are totally under the control of their inner delusions. Their minds are too blind to distinguish what is right from what is wrong. I shall be able to develop greater sympathy for them in order to free from the cause of suffering. So this is meditation, we have to think like that. Whenever I see or meet any fellow beings, doesn't matter friend, relatives, stranger beings, I shall consider myself their sincere and humble, like Bodhisattvas, humble servant, and the great noble mind Bodhisattvas do, just like Bodhisattvas. Whether these around me behave friendly or unfriendly manner, I shall always be respectful to them. The reason is my great teacher, Bodhisattva Muni, Indian prince, Bodhisattva Muni often told, be calm and peaceful. Buddha said, be always be calm and peaceful mind. Do not be angry with others, even though they are angry with you. Do not be retaliate even though others hit you. Do not be insult back even though others insult you. Do not gossip about others even though they slander you. This is sincerely practiced. So those who sincerely practice these four virtues are my spiritual sons and daughters. The Buddha himself said, if you practice these my four spiritual virtues, then everybody is my son and my daughter. So this is the kind of like, if you want to meditate, you have to think like this. And then if you go through this reading number 1, reading number 2, and reading number 3, if you contemplate, it will change your mind. I will guarantee you will not get any angry. Guarantee you will have very good life. Guarantee you have a peaceful, everything is good for you. Guarantee you can have very good karma, good merit. You have good health, healthy body, healthy mind. If you contemplate this 3 reading, no need to do any divination, asking lamas how long I will live. Don't do anything. Just we practice this, will give you everything: peace, joy, happiness, long life. a good rebirth. If you talk about future, there's no question about practicing. So this is the teaching. So I will finish this teaching and start next year. Some general teaching next December. So we have some non-formal retreats and teaching about tolerance and independent organizations, teaching about the nature of the mind, and some basic Buddhist teaching. Okay, thank you.